Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, here with me to talk about episode 9 of Love Island UK season 11. With me is Mika. How are we today, Mika? Oh boy.
I'm making it. I'm making it. I have a lot to say. And also not a lot to say. But yeah, go ahead.
I understand and I hear you. And Miss TJoy is also here today. How are we, Miss TJoy?
I'm good. Thank you, ladies, for helping me catch up so quickly.
I know. So, well, I mean, like, I can stream it all the time. So, yeah, you just have to let me know and I will do that for you. Well, let's just get right to it. It's the decision that needs to be made. Is Mimi going to, well, she says that they are going to switch, they're going to steal. And we were hoping that it was a misdirect, that it was going to be like, oh, hopefully they're going to steal each other or steal no one. But I think the fact that they did the cutaway and the to be continued, the cliffhanger, was because they knew that she wasn't going to do what we wanted her to do, and we were going to be disappointed. So they decided to start us off this episode disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I got the press release this morning, and they basically said it, and I was annoyed.
Yeah, of course.
This morning.
Of course. So, Miss TJ, what was your first reaction to seeing her choose IO? She chooses IO.
I was disappointed because I can see everything, but I felt that she was just trying to follow her heart, even though, and so I was conflicted. I felt because I can see everything, like Mimi, no, danger. But I was like, you got to learn. Like, she just has to, at least this will take away, if we were in a couple. So I'm like, now it should be right in her face. And then hopefully this will clear it up. That's what I was hoping. Like,
Because what's your thoughts? Maybe she does say when she's making this decision that she always puts her feelings on the sidelines, and this is something that she's doing for herself. So this is why she's choosing IO. So Mika, what were your first thoughts when you read this morning?
I mean, we ended yesterday's episode and said it's not the play. She played right into his hands. She played into his hands. She played into Uma's hands. Like, I'm sorry, and I don't. After watching the entire episode, I even more feel that way. I don't think it was the right move.
I don't think it's the right move, but it's looking like she made the right decision at this point. You know what I mean? Like, from watching the episode to her. To me, I'm just like, this is not going to end well for you. I don't think, but well, obviously time will tell. Hi, Prashay. Thanks for being here. Hi, Sonia. So Sonia says Mimi got her man back, and I love that for her.
Not her man. He's everybody's man right now.
Yeah,
well,
I
at
don't
least her and Uma.
think that, it's her man. I know it's seeming that way, and to her, I think she's probably feeling that she made the right decision. I think she even says it a couple times this episode.
Yeah,
but
she really was convincing herself. She's like, I think I made the right decision. I made the right decision. I'm like, if you made the right decision, you don't have to keep saying it.
Dan says,
but maybe
Mimi.
she did make the right decision so that she can seek clarity. Because I think it's always what if she had not been in a couple, she would always keep making excuses for why he's not doing this. Oh, because we don't sleep together at night. Oh, because we're not in a couple. He's paying her more attention because they're together. She would have kept making excuses. So I
would
feel
she
like
have been making the excuses, or would he have been making the excuses?
She's making them in her mind, whether she's voicing them or not.
Because he was giving her those excuses. Because he was giving her those excuses. I have to give Uma more attention because we're in a couple. But yet,
and she was believing it. So now she's eliminated that. So she has
but
to see.
I think, though, what's interesting is he's now making it seem like he's doing the same thing to Mimi and Uma, like he's just reversed it now. So now he's giving Mimi all the attention, but still saying that he wants to get to know Uma. And so he's not making the situation more clear.
No.
You're just getting more attention because you're in a couple with him. He hasn't made the decision to choose Mimi at this point. He could easily have a recoupling and go, I've taken these last few days and I've decided I want to go and be with Uma now. Yeah. Like he can easily do that because he said, like, I was still getting to know both of you, but like we were in a couple, so I was giving you more attention because we were in a couple together. So I think that she's going to get, to be honest with herself. So if she wants to kiss him, she can kiss him. She wants to hug him, she can hug him. She wants to cuddle with him in bed, she can cuddle with him in bed. Kiss him in bed, she can kiss him in bed. But I don't know if she's going to he's not going to get the clarity that she wants him to have. I don't know if that's the case because his actions do not, in my opinion, line up to his words, right? Because
absolutely they do not. Absolutely.
Uma thought that because he was being overly affectionate, holding hands in front of Mimi, all that stuff was him showing that he was more interested in Uma. And he said that's not the case. And so I would have to assume myself that he's doing the same thing to Mimi and showing her all this attention, like she's the one that he's choosing, when I don't know if that's the case. I don't think that, because he's still stringing Mimi along, or Uma along. So Sonia here is saying that, guys, remember they were never in a couple. Sharing a bed changes dynamics.
Changes dynamics, and it's easier to change dynamics with someone who is going to be more affectionate with you over someone who is holding back. And now you can use that as an excuse. Well, you held back, and so now I didn't know where your feelings really were. And so now that's the excuse he's using for Uma, and also the excuse that he can use to go back to her, because he's going to say, Uma
we didn't really to fully explore everything.
Correct.
Well, Mimi can only do what she can do. She can't control Ayo's feelings. Like
at Mimi, when all of this ire that I'm giving is towards one person. One person and one person.
Ayo. Ayo. I mean, it is really frustrating because a lot of men online are super backing up Ayo. Yes, and it's actually really annoying. Of course. Because I get it. Like, he is being upfront and honest-ish, but his actions aren't aligned, right? So him saying, sure, he's getting to know both of you, but your actions are saying that you are more interested in Uma. Yes. Okay, now that you're in a couple with Mimi, okay, you still want to get to know both of them, but your actions are saying that right now you're more interested in Mimi. Mm-hmm. And so the fact, I think that they're letting him off the hook for people's feelings. Being considerate of people,
that's what men do, and they want to be in that scenario that he is in, and they're like, "What do you want from him? Y'all say we're not honest. He's being honest." So to them, he's the hero. Just like Ronnie over there kissing his cheek, and you did what you did what you had to do. What do they want from you? Whatever, Ronnie, because you're the same one. You're trying to learn from him so you can manage your triangle better.
Well, there's one point, I don't know if I wrote it down, but I'm remembering it now, where I think it was Sean that said, "Man, Ayo, you're a player."
Yeah.
He saw it. He called it out.
Yeah.
And so
they were in the room getting dressed or something like that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that is player moves, because it's like, well, I'm being completely honest. I'm still set up getting to know each of them. Like, I think maybe there needed to be some maybe rules as to what is allowed in the getting to know you phase without like pushing the other person away. Maybe, like, I don't know, I would consider kissing underneath the covers to be maybe a deal breaker if we're just getting to know each other. Maybe. I wouldn't really feel good about that if I was like, oh, I'm dating somebody and they're starting to do bits and take things to the next level. You know what I mean? So I would be like, okay, no, you're getting to know her, and you're not somebody that you're not considering how I would feel about that. So I think that they might have needed to put a little bit more parameters as to what is considered to be getting to know each other without it look like he's favoring one person over the other. Mm-hmm. But they didn't do that. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for being here. Precious is also here saying Io likes the attention from Mimi that Uma wasn't giving him.
Period, Prash. Period. That's it.
And I think he's still, I don't know, he's still more interested in Uma. Like I think he really wants Uma to evoke feelings for him, and like I think he's just wants to push her to the edge.
Yes. What did we say for the last few days? This is a Leo pissing contest. This is a Leo pissing contest. And this is why I'm saying that this was the wrong move, because all that's going to happen is
he's going to go to Uma.
He's going to go to Uma because she's going to open up, because really, what choice does she have, to be fair? And she's going to pursue him because now she lost the points. It was okay when she was up here, but now she's down here. She is not going to like that. So she's going to pursue him, and he's going to like that. And I'm like, look at y'all making this N-word the freaking prize.
Well, Sonia here is saying that Uma crying was all about her ego. Yeah, I mean, she's a Leo. It's all about the ego for sure. She never showed Io any want and desire. No, I mean, she did choose him. She did like the fact that he was so interested in her. Absolutely. She's a slow burner, but she kissed Ronnie upon meeting him. Okay, miss. Okay, I can't. That people get drunk, whatever, and they kiss somebody at a game. Like I don't really think that is indicative of how she is a slow burner or not a slow burner. Like she wasn't pursuing Ronnie for a relationship, so that's just a different situation. So I don't think I can judge her on kissing Ronnie.
I don't think she liked Ronnie. So I mean, to me, sometimes like kissing somebody you have absolutely no feelings towards is like easier than kissing somebody.
And if you're drunk at a bar and barely remember, like you didn't, like it was like these challenges, like these are.
She wasn't that drunk because she remembered him. I don't know how you remember somebody from 2 years ago that you just accidentally kissed in a bar, and you like, oh, I know him. I know, well, like he didn't even remember her.
Well, he's a footballer though, right? So maybe, maybe it was like that.
I don't. My theory usually is.
Remember, she was working. She was working. They weren't
right. So that's what I'm saying. My theory is usually you're not that drunk.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I've made out with many people that I have absolutely no idea that I've made out with them. So when I was in my 20s, come on. So I don't know, and like I would say that I'm a slow bird too. Like I'm not like for somebody if I'm pursuing someone in a relationship. So I just think that it's two different versions of myself. Like if I'm looking for somebody that I want to build something with, like it's going to take a little bit more time than being at a bar and making out with a rugby player or football player.
But whatever. Is she trying to build something with Io? Is she trying to build something with him?
I think more so than her kissing Ronnie at that event or bar or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we were also saying that like we think that she was saying she's a slow burner just to put him at arm's length. Absolutely. Also, maybe she doesn't want to be making out with people undercovers having sex on TV. That also could be a thing as well. I don't know. Dan says, Io making himself so innocent, like it pisses me off. It pisses me off big time. I was really annoyed.
Are we clear? Are we clear? I've said the same thing to her that I've said to you. You have to hear it out of my mouth.
So Omar does steal Uma. So at least Uma didn't go home. So I'm sure the producers told him to choose Uma. I think that he was preferring to choose Patsy, to be honest, but I think that the producers were like, just choose Uma. Everybody stays in the villa. It'll be fine. It'll be a mix up and whatever. So
you do? I don't think he likes that girl.
Well, I think I don't know if he likes her, but I think he would have chosen her because there was at least an interest there from her on her part. I don't think that he knows that Uma's not interested in him.
Oh, because I mean, I didn't, when they sat down and had that conversation, I was like,
Right.
girl, he is so not
He was like, is that too forward? And he was like, no, it's not
It's
too
like,
forward. I'm like, yes, girl, you are throwing yourself at this man. He does not want you.
somebody on Twitter called her Pepsi, and I was dying because I think they were trying to say she's thirsty.
Oh, Pepsi. That's a good name, though. Well, I know. I think that
That
just
was
like
so
to
clever, though.
like it is clever. Well, I totally hear what you're saying, that he's not really that interested in her, but I think it just would have been a better idea for him in the long run, because I don't think he wants to be involved in this love square,
Oh
love
no, he
triangle, love.
absolutely. Like I said, I think his hierarchy would have been to just go with Mimi, and
That's what I think he wanted to do.
I think he wanted to pursue Mimi, and she just wasn't with it.
Omar hates Patsy. He wants no parts of her in his bed.
That's what I got from it. I was
That's what I got from
just
it, too.
think-
He don't want to be kissing her. He don't want to get
I
rid
mean,
of
I
her
guess
idea.
like that's true though. Like you'd have to do all those partnership stuff with her, and maybe he doesn't want to do that. That's fair. But I don't think that he wants to be involved in this
this is
Uma
triangle though.
triangle, square, whatever you want to call it. So okay, you're right. You're right. But yeah, I wish people would have just picked Omar. I know it would have been better. I think that she could have gotten the clarity that she was, because he would have been all in on Uma, and you would have seen that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hi, Jessica. Jessica says, I'm driving, so I can't comment much, but there are so many roller coasters on this season, and I want off. You want off? No, it's good. It's good.
She said she want off.
Well, I'm thinking, like, is USA Tonight going to be able to compare? Because this is a very good start of a season.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, USA Tonight.
It's good. And, like, as much as we're annoyed with some people, like, the drama is here. It's interesting. Like, I liking these people. They're not dumping. Like, they should have maybe kept Sam. They didn't need to dump him right away. That was kind of like, but whatever. Who knows what he was going to bring? But like, they haven't been dumping too much. They haven't bring in too many people and dumping. Like, I think they've been listening to us, that we want to get to know people more.
Right.
So when people come in, it actually interferes something. It's not just like jump partners.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. So I'm just saying the best start of any season. Mm-hmm. Dan says, I'm confused on why there hasn't been a boring episode yet.
Sunday was a little boring. Just a little.
Yeah, but we did Sunday and Monday together.
Yeah,
so
yeah. But
and I watched them I watched them Sunday and Monday. So Umar does choose Uma. He's interested in getting to know her. And so when he said stealing this person, though, I did think that he might be like stealing, because like she wasn't with anybody at this point. So why is he saying stealing this person? So I was like, oh,
he wanted to get Patsy. He wanted, and she all over there.
Stop. Oh, Pepsi. Pepsi's so smart.
It's not you, girl.
Right after though this I guess couple swap, Uma walks right off. Mimi apologizes to Io, and I was like, there's nothing to apologize. There's nothing to apologize about. And so the guys are just basically saying like, hey, everyone's still here. They all go to chat with all the boys together, and the girls all chat together. I think that Uma is still in the dressing room. Yeah. But when the boys chat, Omar does say like that Mimi said that there was unfinished business. Yeah. And I actually have to agree. Later on, we talk quite a bit with Uma, where she's like, I feel like I'm being left out, like in the dark here, because like I think that would have been information that would be good for her to know if they're pursuing the same guy. Is that like, oh, there's unfinished business, because he wasn't saying that to her, you know.
I agree, and I also agree with Uma. We haven't gotten there, but remind me to tell you what I agree with her about when Mimi didn't say some information when they had him right there for her to say this and make this statement. I feel like Mimi's walking on tippy toes because she doesn't want to push too much, because she fears that he's like you had him right there and you needed to confront him with everything, and she didn't. Because I had forgotten about that until she said it later on. I was like, why you didn't say that?
Absolutely. I had the same feeling. So the girls also chat, and they're now gassing up Mimi. Oh, you must have been pissed off, Mika.
You said, oh, there's only a few people that we don't like. I said a few.
Oh,
Because I mean, literally, I'm about down to one or two people that I actually like. Because these women are gross.
especially Jess. Like for Jess to be over there hyping her up, like Nicole, I think Nicole really does consider Mimi her friend, right? So she was looking at it from like, no, this what you wanted, this what you wanted, you know, like type thing. But I think, and then Harriet, you know, she be doing the same thing. So she like, no, 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 you had to do it. But Jess,
Oh, Jess is a phony, and I'm off her.
yeah,
We're gonna get to Jess soon. So yes, iOS 6.6, so it does confuse things for sure. So with the girls chat, they're like, "Oh, you needed clarity and be in a couple with him." I'm like, sure, if that's what you guys are saying that you need for clarity, then who am I to judge? Then I don't think that that's what you needed for clarity, but that's what they're telling you now that they need the need for clarity.
Clarity
Nicole,
for me was holding hands and all sorts of other stuff that he did. I don't need to be in a couple with you for clarity, but that's just me.
that is just me, because like 100% just me. It's like like what if she walked in on them like having sex or something, like, well, we're still open, we're not closed off, we're just in a like all the girls are hugging Mimi and it's a big group hug. Why are they supporting this relationship so much? Like I'm just confused.
No, I think they were lying. I don't think they were
No,
supportive.
but why do they want to appear to be supporting it so much?
I don't know why
they just do whatever's in their face. Because then when it's Uma crying, then they telling her, no, you're right. I can't believe she did that. Because they're just two-faced.
They're absolutely two-faced. The next morning when she tells them that they kissed, they're shocked. Really? I'm so shocked. Why? Last night y'all said that this was exactly what needed to be done, right? Like last night you said he had and her had a great connection. Why are you shocked that they were making out in bed the night before?
Mm-hmm.
Because you thought that it was actually him and Uma that had the better connection, and you're fucking lying to her.
Right.
Absolutely pissed me off.
Absolutely. Well, then we get the scene that you guys are talking about where Omar wants no part of Patsy, but Patsy would have liked him to have picked her. Of course she would have. And she does say, was that too forward? And he's like, no. We know that he's not really interested in Patsy. I do think that he was considering picking her, but just to not be involved in that square. But probably he thought his life flashed before his eyes when he thought about like what he was going to have to endure. And he's like, no, I'm going to go with Uma. I'd rather be in the love square then, I guess. Mimi and Patsy are chatting, and she's basically saying the same thing the other girls are saying. You made this decision for you. Well, she did, actually. She did make the decision for her because she is going to know what it feels like to feel like she's getting all the attention from IO, and he's not fully into her. She's going to feel that. And she was saying that she's afraid of heartbreak. She's afraid of getting hurt. She's afraid of letting her feelings get involved. And then she just does this, which is, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. Like 100%.
Yeah.
She
did not guard her heart for it to happen. Yeah. Yep.
So Mimi apologizes to Uma. They kind of like, they did have, I feel like they do have respect for each other. Like I don't know, Mika, you were saying that you don't know if Uma is like playing a game or was like doesn't really respect Mimi.
She's playing a game, guys.
I think that she likes Mimi.
I thought she respected Mimi. I don't know.
I think she's playing a game. I think she's playing a game. I don't think she thinks Mimi is on her level. I think that's why she was upset most of this episode. And I'm sorry. That's what I got from it. But that's my opinion.
Well, no, I think both things can be true. I think she respects the girls, but I do think she thinks she the finest one up in there. So I can believe both things are true. I don't think she thinks that she's on her. Like, I think she thinks that she should get the man over her. I do believe that. But I do also think that she doesn't want to have any friction with her. Like, she doesn't want to make this a her and Mimi thing. I don't know.
I agree with you, Miss TJoy. So Mimi apologizes, and she's like, "This is never going to get between us. Like, we're going to still have we're going to be open." And I think that they have been to a certain extent,
Absolutely.
except for what Mimi omits. But they decided they're going to pull Io over to clear things up with him, which I was like, "This is a house meeting. Okay, let's have a house meeting, or like a confrontation." And I hate that, like, he's like, oh gosh, and he's with all the guys, and he's going over, and he's like, worried he's gonna get grilled now. And Verche thinks that Uma's fully playing a game.
Thank you, Presh.
So he says, guys, remember when Uma told Io, she told witchy Samantha that she did not want to step on her toes, but was comfortable with stepping on Mimi's toes.
That's all I've gotten from it. I don't know.
But just in her slight defense, she also, though, was getting the okay from Io, right? So
And not
I don't
getting it
know
from
if she
Jesse,
thought
right.
that they were at the same place as the other couples were,
Sure.
like, Mimi was saying, oh, we're still open. He's saying, oh, we're still open. Like we've been talking, but they weren't even in a couple at that point. And so I could see her in just that particular instance stepping on Mimi's toes because it didn't look like they were as connected from her perspective. But I can also see where you guys are coming from too. So they want to clear the air between the three of us. And basically what they got out of it, how he weaseled his way out of
the girl like an eel. He was so slimy. It was like, oh.
Basically, they are both equal then. Mika, what do you have to say?
I know you were
you know Shark Tank?
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm out. Like you're supposed to tell me that we're both equal? They're two totally different people. And for that reason, I would be out. And I don't understand. And both of them are sitting there like, okay, got it. It was absolutely frustrating. So,
they just let him slide.
I couldn't believe it.
Hi, Carly. Carly said she said again, thinking about you. Was thinking about you ladies all episode. I was smiling at Mimi and Io, and then remembering Io has been trashed, so then I got scared for her future feelings. Help your girl out. Help our girl out.
Yes, Carly. You be like, when they give those passionate kisses like on the terrace, you be like, yes, and then you remember, no, he's trash. He is so trash.
Verche says, though, that Uma lied during this conversation. She told Mimi that Io was leaning towards her, but then when Mima said it during the conversation, she said she didn't say that. I don't remember that.
She did absolutely do all of that.
Talking, remember, she said, oh, Mimi said, oh no, what she's saying is you were leaning more, you made her feel like you were leaning more towards her. And then Uma says, no, I didn't say that. I said that's how I felt or something she said. And then he said, no, I have told you both that I feel this same way. And she was like, oh, so we're equal. He says, yeah, you're equal. And then she says, okay. But the whole time she had been telling everybody and telling him, like, you're leaning more towards me. I get the feeling you're leaning towards me, right? Yeah, right. You're right. And he's like, And then when they get in there, it's not that. I didn't say that. I'm like, what? You did say that.
She did say that. She never said it to Mimi. Like I said, before this, it doesn't feel like they had a conversation, which is why then when she does all of this hysterics after this, I'm pissed off because now you're trying to, like, once somebody says one thing that supposedly Mimi left out, but you've been leaving out that he supposedly was telling you that he was leaning towards you this entire time.
I agree.
But okay, though, I have to play devil's advocate here, though. So, like, I hear what both of you guys are saying, and like, she maybe made it look like she was getting more attention than she was. But I can also understand from her perspective is that was what she was feeling, and she felt that with how they were interacting, that he was leaning towards her. So she was making his actions be truth and not his words. And so that I could see as just being a flaw in understanding Io's misdirection and how he's acting. And, because if he was if his words match his actions, then Uma would be correct. But she was taking his actions to mean something that he didn't actually end up saying. And so
But she did confirm with him. No, but I understand what you're saying. But what Tamika is saying, she did say to Io, so you're leaning more towards me, yeah? And he says yes. So
okay.
he confirmed it. So that's
And
why
she
she kept
never
telling
told
people that.
Mimi. That's my point.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
He
saying that
never
she
then provided that information clarity to Mimi, and then when she gets dropped something where he's supposedly telling Mimi, "Oh, I'm still into you." She's going all over the villa saying Mimi left out information to me. She didn't tell me information. She made me look like a mug. So then what were you doing this entire time to her?
maybe she felt, I don't know, that because of his actions it was clear. I don't know. Because like she definitely couldn't see how he was being with Mimi, and she felt like, and we even felt that he was being openly forward and really projecting how he felt towards Uma. And so I think I think she should have maybe said something, but I could also understand not saying something because it seemed obvious to us, right?
I mean, it was obvious to me, but I'm saying that what I'm saying is she doesn't then get to stand on that she didn't get told information is what I'm saying. Just like I'm going to have an issue with Jess in a minute too, because she's being just a little hypocritical as well.
A little?
Yes,
Oh boy.
Just a little.
So
Yes,
the girls have a
yes.
chat, and this is where Mimi said that she never told Uma that he would have picked her if he wasn't chosen by Uma. And I think that I don't even know if it was necessarily Mimi that like should have said something to her, but like Io definitely should have said, like, I don't know. He wasn't being fully honest, and omitting information is dishonesty. And the fact that we're like now kind of pitting these two women against each other when he's really the problem here, like he's not being fully transparent, and his actions aren't lining up to his words. Like it's just frustrating that we're kind of pitting them against each other as well now because of him just kind of not being super clear, even though he's being really honest with the things that he's saying.
But that's what I'm saying to you. I am not pitting them against each other. They're both right and they're both valid. The person who pitted them against each other is Uma for the rest of the episode because she is going around telling everybody like Mimi did something to her when she didn't.
Oh, wait, hold on. So Rachel said Uma did tell Mimi that Io preferred her. She told her in the dressing room.
Yeah, that's what she confirmed. That's why she said to him, she's telling me that you're leaning more towards her. And then Uma says, no, I didn't say that. And then he comes back. So Uma did tell her that. And that's why she said that in the conversation. And then Uma took it back. Like, no, I didn't say that. I said, I felt like
that was basically my feeling from the situation.
Yeah. So
Jessica says the issue that they're already into is Io has never really said who he's leaning towards except for to the boys. I think Uma was basing it off of actions.
Yes. And so Uma is basing it off of actions and Mimi is basing it off of feelings and words because he was kissing her and giving her emotional input and words saying, yes, we have more of a connection because I've known you longer. And he was telling Uma, no, you're my type on paper. And I'm giving you all of this energy. And that is what that's why I'm saying they're both valid. Neither one of these girls are wrong. No, that's what I'm saying. Neither one of them are wrong. He is equally giving them bullshit.
In different ways though, to like mess up their minds.
Correct. But that's why I'm saying it made me frustrated that then Uma is pitting them against each other instead of staying on the person's ass who it is. And that's Io.
So for Shay saying this whole convo should have been had way before Mimi picked Io and all of this could have been avoided. Well, I mean, that's true as well.
That's like right.
But the show decided to make them do this pick thing before they could get some clarity. And so the show is messy, okay?
Messy.
The show is messy. They're just like, let's make them not clear this up. Let's make them clear this up after they're already in the mess.
Yep.
For sure.
And it definitely.
Oh my God, it's true though.
Yeah,
He
it
says
is
this is
true.
Passion Trina all over again. I can't go through this
All
again.
over again.
We
It's
were
all-
mad.
It
This
is.
was
It is.
it was
It is
maddening.
Passion Trina all over again. And the only reason why is they both are not staying on code. Y'all are not the issue. He's the
Right.
issue. Keep him as the issue. Don't make you guys the issue.
I don't think it will end up happening. I don't think that Uma wants that for them to having a falling out.
No.
So I think that she will be giving her Vim to Io before she does anything to Mimi. I don't think that she's going to let that happen. So Uma's starting to feel like a dickhead because she didn't really know all the information, and Mimi should also feel like a dickhead because she didn't hear all the information. So they both should equally feel like a dickhead. But
No,
I
he's
think
a dickhead.
Jessica says, "You know how crazy it is that this cast could have a full movie night of a week and a half." I know, right?
Like between all the stuff that has not been said, that has been done, that's not been done, not been shown or done or no.
You're right.
Because like round two, like we're getting close to it, but Ronnie and the Ronnie Harriet Jess situation is this exact same thing.
I know.
Like,
We should get a double feature. We should get 2 movie nights.
It's the same thing going on. So they're all getting ready for bed after this conversation, clearing the air. It didn't actually clear the air. Everybody feels like a dickhead. Mimi feels like she made the right decision for herself. But before getting into bed, Io is saying that because Uma hasn't been in a relationship, this makes this 10 times worse. So what do you think he meant by that?
He's just trying to blame somebody else besides himself.
I know, but like, what is she making 10 times worse for her not having been in a relationship? I was just trying to figure it out.
I think he was trying to make an excuse as to why he's not choosing her. Like you know, like you have something on paper, and again, like Cass, Cinco, and Trina, we went through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he did the same thing. Oh, it's because she did not fully like give me the energy that I was looking for. He's trying to portray again. I think the rest of the villa thought that he was dead set on Uma. That is what he was portraying to every single other person.
Yeah, even being like, oh, she's fire and she has like energetic, and Mimi is quieter and a little more reserved, whatever.
But yet when Mimi steals him, he's A-okay. There's no issue. He's not mad. He's not upset. He's not frustrated. He's not automatically running to Uma and trying to get her back. You have to have an excuse for that, because otherwise then you look like the dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
So Jessica is saying that he's trying to act like she is sprung off of him, and that if she had been in a relationship, she wouldn't be blowing this out of proportion. No, I think
it's the opposite.
Like, I think that she would be blowing it even more out of proportion.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. I think he's trying to say because she's never been in a relationship, she did not know how to fully input herself
like
with him
to kiss him or be more forward.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually possible.
Right.
But like, that's not getting to know somebody necessarily. I'm sick of like these men on this show. Like, it's happened a couple times being like, oh, well, you know, it wasn't happening on this show. It's happening on Perfect Match with Harry Jowsey is saying to Elise that he's like, oh, you know, well, like you're taking it slow. And like, I need to have like, you know, intimacy to be able to choose
she's
you.
Taking it slow because you're Harry Jowsey. Like, hello.
But and that's the thing though, that I'm sick of these men being like, oh, well, she's not putting out, so that means that she's.
And then even if you put out, they still gonna do what they do, please.
Because he still was gonna dump her for who he dumped her for,
right?
Whether she put out the night before or not.
Exactly. And that's the same situation right now, right?
Right.
Body count over you, probably only 2 pumps, and that's it. No, sir. He looks like he's not good.
So those men are what, like in their late 20s, early 30s, and they got problems.
Right.
On Perfect Match?
It's a whole, yes, on Perfect Match. I mean, that's a whole nother podcast, but they got problems.
I think
I see why Dom is
really
single.
Cute. I like Justin. He's cute.
I like Dom, but I know I understand now why Dom is single.
Dom is not great at relationships.
No.
Tamika don't be holding no punches, boy.
And then people are mad at her for choosing him over Izzy, and I was like, Izzy? It's worse.
Oh my god! So Dear Shandy was covering Perfect Match, and they haven't seen Izzy's season of Love Is Blind,
no,
and I was just like, and they're just like, oh, he seems like such a nice guy, and I was like,
run,
you don't know this guy. He's so
Run.
bad.
Right.
She did the right thing.
Yeah, no. Jessica says that's why the guys call him a player when they found out that he kissed Mimi in bed. Exactly,
because they thought that it was Uma. Like they just knew it was Uma.
Why does she know how tall?
Harry Jowsey 6'6". I do know that too.
You're tall man. Please stop. I love tall men.
I love tall men. I do. But though, like every inch they get like an extra notch on their belt of like able to pull a girl. Because like Howie Jowsey isn't, in my opinion, a good looking guy. Like he's okay, but he's like a 6. But like the fact that he's 6'6" makes him like an 8.5. You know what I mean?
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
Women love tall men.
And Io, he's a very handsome man. He's probably a 9 on his own. Yeah. But like it makes him like
a 9.5.
10.
Absolutely.
Like break your neck to look up. Ooh, it's hot.
That's smooth chocolate skin.
Somebody needs to chop his ass down.
Mm-hmm. I know. Well, imagine if he was acting this way if he was 5'6", right? Like it just
and there are some 5'6" men who act.
It's all in the height. It's all in the height. Hi, Dreadful. Dreadful says I commented on that today. I had to stop listening because they were so far off on the people they didn't know, especially Izzy. Though I know. I mean, I still listened to it because I just was like, I had to just put it aside that they haven't seen some of these shows. But yeah, I was like, you got Izzy all wrong. He's
Wait, I gotta listen to it. I wonder what they said about Dom. Because did they watch Perfect Match season 1?
No, they didn't watch season 1. I don't think they watched them all.
Oh my god.
I think they said that he's like a really nice, sweet guy.
Okay.
That doesn't know how, that made the wrong decision with shooting his shot. Like he should have. I don't know. They were decently accurate on Dom.
Okay, that sounds accurate. Dom. To be fair, Dom is a sweet guy.
Yeah.
In general, he needs help when it comes to.
Well, yeah, he's a sensitive Cancer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
He's a sensitive Cancer in a world like in the reality TV world, and I just don't know if that matches. Like this show doesn't match the type of relationship I think that he actually
the type of women that he would need. Yeah.
Women especially. Dan wants to know when is Casa coming because I'm ready for most of these fake couples to split.
We probably got a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe.
A while.
It's
yeah, it's like we have 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 8 weeks or a week.
Oh, it's 8 weeks. I thought it was 6 weeks and it came in the middle, so I was thinking 3. Okay, it's 8.
I can't remember if it's 6 or 8. We talked about it before. I think it might be 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe it's 6. I don't know. I think we still have 2 weeks though. That's my point. Yeah. Like I feel like it'll be not next Friday, but the Friday. Not this Friday, but the Friday after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All on the height. Yes, they did like Dom. Jessica's over Dom. He doesn't need to come back to a dating show. Not a dating show.
I agree.
I don't need to see that anymore.
No, he put him on Traders or something.
I can see him in Traders. That's fine. So. Okay, so then they're in bed and we see the night camera. And first we see Jess and Ronnie go under the covers. I was like, Jess, this is not the move. It's not the play. You already lost this man, but this is not going to help you keep him. It isn't, but do what you got to do or want to do. Like, I can't stop you. You're a grown woman.
A woman. Yep.
And then I see Mimi and Io kissing in bed, and I'm like, "Oh, Mimi!" See, now his actions
she couldn't wait to cuddle and kiss. We knew that. That's part of the reason why she wanted to be
cuddling fine.
I knew that.
But
That man wasn't gonna cuddle with her and I kissed her, and I knew she was gonna give in.
what happened to Mimi saying that she didn't want to move too quickly? Remember?
I don't
Mimi.
remember her saying that. When she
In the
said it?
beginning, remember she was like she didn't want to kiss him necessarily right away.
Oh yeah, on the first day.
I mean, it's I don't like kissing is just kissing, but in bed and those romantic kisses that he likes to be giving her, he knows how to get her hooked, and it's maddening for me.
I'm telling you, their kisses are the best kisses. They can kiss each other now. They can kiss.
Brochet says, I need Ronnie to hurry up and pick Harriet so Jess can get out of these people's business.
Thank you for
Oop, I really choked on water when I saw Mimi and Io kiss. I know. I was like, girl, I mean, I know that this is what she wanted. She wanted to be in a couple with him. She wanted to be intimate and she wanted to have this, deepen their relationship in this way. But it's not going to give you the evidence that you desire here because he's so easy to switch it off.
Yeah.
And women in general, just after kisses like that, they are locked in emotionally and men aren't. Like, I remember there's this one guy that I don't think still to this day I've ever had better kisses with in my life. And I didn't understand how he could not be obsessed with me. And like, it was easy for him to not be like, but like, it was the best kisses I've ever had. And it would happen all the time. And like, and he just never wanted to like be with me. And I didn't understand because our kisses were so good. Men can shut off good kisses. Like, they just, I didn't understand it. But what I learned is that it doesn't mean that feeling doesn't mean the same thing to men as it does to women.
Yeah, because they can compartmentalize and just be like, that was just
like that the feeling and like, nope, they don't care. Yeah. Okay, so in the morning we see Uma crying to Jess. I'm like, why are you talking to Jess? I'm like,
I told you she was under the impression that Jess was her bestie. And then it felt like, from what I could see as an audience person, that once Uma came in, Jess seemed to switch. And for some reason, there was no loyalty to Mimi. And we see that in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's right in the beginning. Uma is crying to Jess. She feels like a mug. And she thinks that she was upset because she thought that he was his number one. And which she did. She did think that she was his number one. And I guess him saying that he's getting to know both of them, he thinks it's the same as saying that you guys are both equal. And that his actions don't actually mean anything. And that's kind of what's very frustrating about all the men that are supporting him. I'm like, well, say that we are both equal and me making out with you doesn't mean anything. Just make that clear, because women are going to understand things a little bit differently, no matter what. So then we see Jess and Nicole talking with Mimi right after. I was like, whoa. Why are you talking to both of them, Jess?
Because she
like,
it's,
yeah.
And she needs to mind her own business because she got a lot going on over there.
So then Mimi says that she had a cuddle and kiss in bed. And she didn't say it in a gossipy way. She just kind of said, like, yeah. And like, she's like, well, like in bed? Like, were you cuddling? And then she's like, well, yeah. Like, it was, we were kissing in bed. And she was saying it like a normal morning chat vibe,
right?
Yes.
She wasn't like super excited and giddy and like squealing and be like, "Oh my god, guys! Oh my god, we can't!" Like,
men are always, especially when they doing something wrong, they always trying to make it seem like she over there excited about my kisses. Like she's so excited, she gossiping, telling everybody. No, she was not.
She was just saying what happened in bed, like the night before in the morning. So Io is with Kieran and Joey. And Joey is starting to twist it a little bit. He just needs to stoke that fire. He needs to stir that pot a little bit, being like, yeah, you can tell that Uma was upset. And, she just didn't really look happy about the situation. And I was like, Joey, you're just really trying to put some flames, like stir the pot. So then Jess decides to take it upon herself to go pull Io and say that she just spoke to Mimi, and that he needs to go and tell Uma about the kiss that they had.
Or
and I was like,
or she will.
Or she is going to. And I'm like, Why is she getting messy? Okay, Tamika, let me have it. Let me hear what's wrong.
No, what pissed me off about what she said was because Uma's my best friend here. Oh, so Mimi's not your friend. Got it. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, if she'd said like they're both my girls here, like I just want to protect both of them.
Mm-hmm. Fine, but also still stay out of it. Like it's one thing to say to him, I think you should tell Uma because it might get back to her that you guys kissed in bed. But to tell him that
She's my best
you
friend.
are best friends with her and you're going to tell her if he doesn't, okay, thank you. I'm sorry. And then what Mimi does later, like the entire situation has pissed me off. Jess is not her friend. And I really hope it gets outed that Jess is not her friend. She needs to stop talking to her.
So Rachel's saying, I think this is all a combination of Mimi really liking Io and her wanting to keep him. She's going to do what she can to make this couple work. Yes, she is, but Io just doesn't care though. Like he's going to do what he wants to do, and all in the name of I'm just trying to figure it out. So now Io is mad at Mimi for mentioning the kiss with the girls, whatever, and I'm just like, she didn't even really do it in that way that he's getting mad about now, but he's going to use this as a way if he needs to say that he doesn't want to be with Mimi anymore. If that's what he chooses to do, like he's going to use this as evidence or proof or like lack of trust or made him feel uncomfortable, whatever it is, he's going to use it against Mimi if he needs to. So I was like,
it's a bunch of crap because you have told the men before when you've kissed her. You have told the men, oh, we kissed, or we did this, or we said this when we went on a hideaway on a date, or we've done this, or whatever. You have told the men what you wanted to tell the men. But because somebody came and confronted you, now you got a problem. But don't do nothing in the dark you don't want to come to light. It's a problem. Because if I was Mimi, I would be like, oh, it's a problem? You don't want nobody to know you kissing me?
That's even worse, Mr. Io.
Yes.
Absolutely. So now Io is telling Kieran, Johnny, and Joy and Ronnie about the fact that now he has to go and tell Uma about the kiss, and that like Joey's just encouraging, like, go, do it now. And I'm like, Joey, you're so messy. But I do think that he should tell Uma, like being open and upfront, but it goes against his gameplay, right? His gameplay is don't be fully transparent about what you're doing physically with the other person so that you can play it off as.
I think he said that to the boys, like, why can't we just keep things between ourselves? Why do we have to? And I'm like,
people who are trying to play games and play two people, that's what they want. Yeah.
Like you're not in the outside world where you can be messing around with two women and them not knowing about each other and thinking that they're the only one in the picture. It's in the villa. Everything comes to the light because they're sleeping two beds down. So Io does then call Uma over, or he pulls her over for a chat, and she does say that her feelings were hurt this morning. She expresses why her feelings were hurt or whatnot. And he says to her that he did kiss Mimi, and she was about to cry. So she was really hurt by hearing this information. And so she then walks off. What are you going to say, Mika?
Well, I'm not saying nothing. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't believe her feelings, but also I don't know.
Well, I think
they're based off of ego. I mean, I think her feelings are valid. I think she really does feel like she's being portrayed as a muck. Like she doesn't like that her ego is being bruised because she really thought, she was it. Like she was his number one and she had him. So now it's like.
Well, I think was realizing that his actions actually mean shit. You know what I mean? So she probably hurt because she is looking like a mug because she did think that the way that he was treating her, that she was the one that he wanted to pick. Then he was saying that they're both equal, but now he's making out with Mimi in bed, and he never made out with her in bed, and so she's taking this as proof is that he is more interested in Mimi now, and that she's out of the running kind of thing. And so I think that's why she's upset, but I don't know. She's kind of crying. I don't know if it was to somebody else, but saying that she was looking out for them. It might have been in an ITM.
No,
Yeah,
she
but
she
it
said
was
it directly to somebody too, like that she was looking out for them.
looking out for them, but they haven't been really doing the same for her. What do you think about that, Tamika?
Bullshit.
You think that she wasn't looking out for them?
No, I don't think she was looking out for them.
How was she looking out for them?
Because
Um,
she's trying to say that she wasn't being more physical with him because she was holding back her feelings for
well,
Mimi.
That's not true. She didn't have to feel it
but she wasn't being super physical and like wasn't
because
making up
she
with them.
didn't
But you're
want
saying it's because
to.
she didn't want to. I
Chantele.
get that,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
she also wasn't doing that, and so I could understand why she was upset though. But
But it's a difference between
Mimi's
you
like,
not doing something that you want to do out of respect for somebody versus you not doing something because you just don't want to do it. She wasn't
right.
doing it because she just didn't want to do it. It wasn't out of her having respect for somebody. So I just don't, I don't want them to pin each other and I want to respect everybody's feelings, but let's not lie. Let's not lie. Now I feel like you starting to lie. I don't like that.
Yeah,
well,
You
because
just
she's
weren't
starting to
doing
feel like she looks stupid though. Yeah.
yeah.
right, and that's valid, but don't make it seem like you were looking out for somebody's feelings when you
I
were
think
not.
well, a part of it though, she was always coming up to Mimi and being like da 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 and da da da, and this is she was trying to be as
Oh
transparent, but
yeah, and Mimi wants to do the same with her and not have them have conflict. I'm talking about, but we got to separate. One thing is different from, but you weren't not being physical with him out of somebody's feelings. Those are two separate things. Me not wanting to
well,
have
I think she's
friction.
kind of roping them all in together.
No, she was lying.
Sure.
Now, now I got it. When Tamika right, she right. That is, she was lying.
I just feel like she's decided she gonna play into it, part of the game. Yes.
Yeah.
Precious here says, I'm over Uma whining about Mimi and Io kissing. Uma never wanted to kiss Io, though. So that's what
Thank
Tamika's
you. Thank
saying.
you. She never
It's
wanted
ample
to.
opportunity. And I'm not saying she had to do more than that. I'm just saying that if she wanted to be affectionate with him, they could have been affectionate without there being an issue for Mimi to even know or see or anything, because according to her, she was his choice. So
Rachel says, I definitely think it's an ego thing. I don't think Uma really likes Io that much.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, definitely it's all an ego thing. It's not going the way that she was planning. Definitely. Jessica says you can't take credit for something that you did not want in the first place.
Exactly.
Shay says, all I have to say is I'm annoyed with Io, but Mimi and Io can keep doing what they're doing because the Facebook moms love them. And if they can get her to the end, that's all I care about. Oh, if the Facebook moms love her, that means that the producers are going to mess this up. So they're going to send in, it's Casa Moore is going to dead them.
yeah.
They're not going to make it through Casa Moore.
And I can see why they like Io, because he's honest and he's clean cut and he's like clean shaven and tall. I get it. He's a dickwad, guys. Please, like, we want better for our girl. Please.
Well, the Facebook moms, like, they don't want better for Mimi. That's why they're just like, like, we're getting her in a shitty situation.
Yeah.
But if they could win the show, though, I would be happy for Mimi to get the win if that ended up happening. But I just do not think that they're gonna make it through from Casa Moore.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what happened with Tanya and Shaq. Remember, like they loved them, and then the producers made Tanya mess it up. And I mean, and even when Shaq was going on his rose, like the Facebook moms still loved him.
I love
And
who?
Shaq.
The Facebook
And
moms love Shaq. Okay.
They did. They loved Shaq. And then when like, while the black people were like, oh, they didn't believe Shaq was really into Tanya, and then they didn't really believe Tanya was into Shaq. The Facebook moms loved Tanya and Shaq. And then everything happened at Casa Amor, and then they were mad at Tanya and sending her death threats. And then they were still in love with Shaq. Still in love with Shaq.
So V wants to know if there's been another couple that so other than Shaq and Tanya, was there another Facebook mom black couple support?
No, just I think Shaq and Tanya, they were close. I don't think they didn't like India and Dammy. They didn't like They sure as hell did not like Kaz and Tyler. They hated Tariq and Ella.
Ella. What about?
Really?
Oh, I guess you didn't watch back then. I was gonna say. Oh no, you did, but you might not have paid attention to the Facebook moms with
Oh, what
Mike
Chris
and
and
Priscilla.
Priscilla? I didn't watch it that live. I watched it after.
Where are we? Oh yeah, so they get a text, and so they're going to be playing a game called On Job, where the girls have to work hard but play harder. So On Job, basically, the girls come out as like a secretary or a disciplinary person. They come in, they pick up they have to choose a man to demonstrate a sex position, and then they have to give an infraction, we'll say, to one of the men as well, and then throw a cup of tea in their face. What do you think of this this challenge?
I didn't understand the point of it exactly. Usually there's a
In the
point.
face.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, let's do a challenge today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the boss in charge, but I'm a compromise myself by doing a sexual position, and then I'm going to chastise you and correct you. It was just great. It was great.
Well, they were choosing who they wanted to do the sex position with, and then they're also choosing who had the negative infraction. So I guess that was hopefully to stir up some drama. So we'll just go through them quickly. Harriet and Ronnie do the standing doggy. And who is the biggest Osif gossip? Harriet chooses Kieran because he's always in the drama and he has the loudest voice in the villa. Did you agree with this?
I mean, Kieran's been on his P's and Q's for the last couple of days, to be fair.
Quiet. Patsy had to do the butterfly, and says that she would have picked you, which I think was Omar, but
Yeah,
not now. So she chose Manveer, right? That was really uncomfortable.
It was so weird. Like, girl.
Yes, Harriet should have picked herself for sure. The disciplinary action needed was for Ronnie. I didn't write down the explanation, but probably because he's like toying with Jess and Harriet.
Yeah.
Uma has to do the boat. She does not choose Io or Omar. She chooses Sean. And for the infraction, who lacks accountability, rightfully so, choosing Io. I'm saying that he's basically too laid back. What did you think about him answering back?
Typical, because they don't really say they try to act like they're confronting him, but they're not really confronting. Put some information out in the universe. Say because you told me this, but you're kissing her under. I mean, put some information out. They say little stuff to make it seem like they're confronting him, but he has the ability to come back because you really haven't said that much, so he can come back with something. I don't like that.
Jessica says, poor Omar, he was the only one that wasn't picked for a sex position. Oh, sorry. Well, he's kind of new to the villa still. He didn't want Nicole or Patsy to pick him, so that's you just pick and choose here.
His face was just like, okay. I was like,
Rachel says neither Manveer nor Patsy have sex appeal, so I cringe hard. Yeah, yes. It was very cringy.
It was cringy, and that's what I'm saying. So he looked at her and Manveer, and it was just like, okay, that's all right.
Mm-hmm. Jessica says, I loves to run his mouth. He's starting to get a little snippy with them. He's getting frustrated. Well, because he can't just ghost them, right? In the villa, which is what he would do. And then call later being like, oh, baby, like, oh, nothing's going on. Like, I'm just really busy at work. And they're like, we're good still. And they go out and they have those sexy kisses. And then he disappears for 3 days because he's with the other one. Like, he's just not able to be his player self in the way that he likes to because people are watching him.
Exactly.
Yep. Nicole is doing the eagle. She chooses Kieran. And the person that's the team player, she chooses Omar. I didn't really understand why she chose Omar, but team player. Mimi says does the reverse cowgirl on Io. And the violation she gives to Ronnie for messing around with Jess, flirting with Harriet. Makes
And
sense.
I was mad because
Right.
do not
She's
take
going
up
for
for Jess.
Jess, and Jess not
Oh.
your friend, girl.
She's not your
Doesn't
friend.
know yet. She doesn't know yet. Sam, do you think that they'll do what at the movie night? They'll actually show some of the girls not being, because they usually just focus on the guys, like the male and female relationships. But like, do you think it'll be any of the girl on girl relationships that they might expose?
Maybe because I mean the last few times they've been shown when the guys weren't like backing each other up for real. Maybe
True.
they'll do it for the girls because it seems like this year is going to be the girls.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sam is going to choose to do the wheelbarrow with Joey. That was really awkward.
Yes.
And so the infraction is negative attitude. She gives it to Kieran because apparently they had a tiff. Did they have another tiff that we just didn't see?
Probably.
I wish, or maybe it's for the unseen bits.
Yeah.
And then Jess goes and she has to do the rocking chair. She chooses Sean. And the infraction for inappropriate behavior is Ronnie for the recoupling speech and for she does not want to be in a situation shit. And this is his formal warning. I'm like, Jess, he doesn't care.
You were just under the covers with him last night. Please stop. Please stop.
Jess says Nicole picked Omar because he picked her as a game player at that Dare Party game. Okay, got it. Okay, but
probably to get back at him for picking her as a gameplay. Okay,
yeah,
I got it.
Some tea in his face. All right, so they're getting ready for the night. Say it again.
I said, all right, Nicole.
All right, Nicole. Getting ready for the night. Patsy thinks that Mimi should tell Uma about the kiss. I'm like, sure. These are in their business, huh? But not giving them good information. But yes, maybe Mimi should tell Uma about the kiss. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
I mean,
he knows about it.
I know, but she doesn't know that she knows or whatever.
But again, the problem with Uma and Mimi is neither one of them are talking to each other. Mm-hmm. And instead of the girls saying, you and Mimi should talk, they're telling them what they should talk about and why. And instead of just staying, like, either stay out of it or stop it, trying to encourage them to talk to each other when they should talk to each other, like about specific things. Because they should have been having conversations about 100%. What's he saying to you? Well, he said this to you. And he said this to me.
Yeah, to keep them in check. Yeah, they should have been having a lot more transparent conversations. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the producers are keeping them apart or not allowing them to have these conversations. Like, I don't know. Because, like, if I was both seeing, like, a guy and I'd just be like, okay, I don't know what's going on with them. So let's just make sure that we keep our lines of communication open so we know what's going on so neither of us get played.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's probably how I would do it. But they're different than us.
Right.
Right. Wait, so he is starting to have clarity. I don't plan on telling her about last night. Oh, this is Ronnie and Jess are talking. And so Ronnie does not plan on telling Harriet about making out with Jess under the covers. Is he taking a page out of Io's playbook? Go ahead.
And Jess doesn't plan on telling her either.
And so why is she making Io go and tell Uma, her best friend, about that? Yeah.
Hypocrite much.
Hypocrite a lot. Especially since she was the one that was like running around and being like, you should do this. It wasn't her just having an opinion about it. She was like, you need to do this.
She's trying to break up what you got. She's trying to break up what you got, but she's trying to preserve what she has.
Mm-hmm. Then Ronnie and Uma have a conversation. And she's still just annoyed. Ronnie's saying that Io's a good guy because, like, they have the same playbook.
Right.
And so he doesn't want to think that he's a bad guy. So he has to say that Io's a good guy. They do see Io pull Mimi to go to the terrace. It's just a bit disrespectful. Come on. Like, I know that you're getting to know each other, but the terrace is meant so you have a little bit of privacy. A lot of like romantic moments usually happen in the terrace. It's equally as rude, I would say, as to go to the hideaway with somebody that if they're equal, like just doing that is just
But
so
I like that
rude.
he's doing this because I always say let people do what they want to do so you can see
Sure.
what they rather do. So
But
I'm watching
him
you and
doing
I
those
see you doing
things,
this. So now I'm gonna take a step. If I was her, I would be like, this is it. He knew I was watching. He went up there. You only take people up there to kiss. I'm gonna fall back. Cause obviously they kissing in the bed, they kissing on the terrace. He got more feelings for her. He making out with her. I need to step back.
but then he's gonna say to her, like, no, like we're just getting to know each other. Like I have a comfortability with Mimi. I've
She has
known her
to
for
take
longer.
ownership of being stupid in that moment. She has to take ownership of that. I'm sorry.
I mean, I would not like I as soon as Io had that 2-on-1 conversation saying that we were both equal, I would have been done with the man. Right? Like Mimi,
That's
you
what
can
I
stay
said.
with him, but I would have been as Uma, I would have been done with him and be like, oh, okay, well, no choice is a choice, and so you're choosing Mimi then. Like I'm not gonna be
That's what
fighting over.
I said. I've always said, to me, if I'm looking at a situation, I see a girl, and then I see myself, and I look at this girl, and I'm like, she is totally different than me.
Mhm.
And then not only that, you've already said that she is your type on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we sit down, you're going to say that we're both equal. For that reason, I'm out. There's no reason for me to be in a situation where I'm on equal footing with somebody who is totally different from me, who is usually your type anyway. I'm
Right.
out. And that's not because I'm
They
scared.
both should have been out.
They both should have been out. I
That would
didn't
have
say
been how good would have that have been? Being like, you know what? Since it's so difficult for you to make a decision, we'll make the
we're
decision
both
for
out.
you.
For you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Like, and then you can graft after whoever you want to graft after. But
Right.
like, I'm not gonna put any more into.
I'm not running after you.
That would have
Yeah.
been too much life right.
Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be good?
That
Yes.
would have been
Oh
so
my
good.
That would
gosh.
have been great. And that's why I'm saying it all goes back to what I said in the beginning of the episode. I don't feel like this was the correct move
No,
because
we
it
knew
gave
it
him,
wasn't the correct move.
yeah, it would gave him all the power in the situation when they both
Right.
should have been like, I'm out.
Yeah, being like,
Right.
sorry guys, I'm the prize,
That's
not
what did I
you,
say
buddy.
yesterday? Omar, Mimi, couple out, couple up, divide and conquer. That's what they should have done.
Right.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, no, we said it yesterday, and I agree that she should not have done this move. Maybe it's gonna be more dramatic. I don't know, but
Yeah.
she's not. I don't think she's gonna win. But
Nope.
we do see her go up to the terrace, and she says things like where it all began, and she's like, "Why'd you take me to the terrace?" And she's being kind of coy, and she's sitting a little bit far away from him, and saying that she feels really exposed, and you're gonna get me in trouble. And I'm like, don't say these things to him, because if you're saying you're gonna get me in trouble, he's gonna do it more.
Yeah.
And she knew it. And she wanted it. She wanted him to do it. And then the girls run over to Uma. Are you watching this? Are you watching this?
And then kind of saying to her, like, oh, you shouldn't be watching it. I was like, why? They did it. They're doing it in front of her. Like, why give her their privacy? Like, watch it so she can know what's going on, right? She can't be misled, or like him saying, like, no, it didn't mean anything. Like, he can't.
Right.
She can watch it, and she can make her own decisions for it. So he makes her come closer, and she said that she's glad that she made her decision. And then they do their sensual, sexual kissing. And I'm like, okay, she's sucked in. We've lost her.
Yeah,
we've lost her, ladies and gentlemen. She's back in. Ronnie and Harriet have a conversation, and she just wants to know, are you leaning towards me or not? And he says, so God, these men. It's like, I've been thinking about you all night. Did she hear that she asked him if they had anything happen in bed. He said nothing happened in bed.
And I was thinking of you
I was thinking about you all night long. And I'm just like, man, so he didn't tell her there. So then after that, Io and Uma have a conversation. And she's pissed again. You're taking the piss. And now this is where he's pulling the "you didn't make out with me" card. It was like it was unclear how you were feeling. And she said she doesn't want to get her feelings hurt. So it could be that her gameplay kind of backfired. Like, she wasn't that interested in him, so she wasn't giving him that much. But he's now taking it as he's using it against her and being like, you weren't giving me anything. Which fair on him. right? Like if she was being fully honest, then maybe he wouldn't have this ammunition against her. But she doesn't want to get her feelings hurt. And so she's just got to get out of the situation. Like she needs somebody else to come in to pursue because I don't think Io is it. She does say though naturally, he says that naturally he has gotten to know Mimi more. And so I think that's, oh no, he said that in his ITM. And I think that is true and it's clear. So what do you think that he's doing right now? Do you think that is actually pursuing them both? Or do you think he's more so into Mimi? Like, where do you think Io actually stands? Because he's not, for me, transparent.
He wants Uma, and he's going to use Mimi to get her. Physically.
Do you think it's going to work?
Yes.
How do you think? Because like I feel like Uma, her ego's bruised, of course, and she feels like a mug, feels disrespected. How do you think he's going to be able to rope her back in?
Because it's all about ego. She's going to want to win. Because as Prochet is saying right here, then remove yourself. But you see, she hasn't done it.
Yeah, I would have been out.
I would have been out.
I mean, there's another guy right there.
Happen? Oh my god, I can see this is what I'm picturing to happen. I think that Omar is going to get like a date card, and he's going to get to choose someone to go on a date with, and he's going to choose Uma or something messy like that, which would be kind of like Bachelor in Paradise, but they should do it. Harriet's now telling Patsy that Ronnie has been eye-fucking her all day long, and that he was thinking about her all night, and her heart is saying Ronnie, but her head is saying no. Go with your head, Harriet, but you're going to go with your heart because you're messy. You're messy, messy, messy. Rachel needs to see how Uma reacts when a new bombshell comes in.
Yeah.
I want to see how everybody reacts, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially if one's interested in Io. That will be very...
I mean, we had a vote, right? So do we think, yeah, so like, is a couple going to be dumped or is it going to split up? Because right now, Patsy and Monveer aren't doing anything. I think they can leave.
They can leave, especially Monveer. Patsy tries to be messy, but
yeah,
there was where are the light skins this season?
They coming. A wave is coming. No, I'm just kidding.
It's so surprising, to be honest. All those like mixed black, like mixed men. Yeah. Harriet though goes and tells Jess what Ronnie had been saying. Harriet asked Jess if they made out in bed. Jess says that they did make out in bed. Harriet tells Jess that he did not admit to that. Jess seemed like she was kind of happy that she has one up over on Harriet a little bit, it seemed. And
she's being a real petty Taurus, and I get it.
But you could see her face was changing when Harriet said, but he said he was thinking about me.
Yeah.
Think about me. Yeah, no, her face did change a little bit, being like,
yeah.
Ronnie, we see Ronnie to the boys because seeing the two of them that were having a conversation, that he thinks that they're both so fit. I don't know if it was both or if it was Harriet. I don't know who he was actually talking about. I'm assuming it was both, but it wasn't clear exactly what he said. And so he knows that he's in a bit of a mix-up there. Messy
but
Ronnie.
They could have called him over right then. Again,
maybe it's happening. It's coming.
They don't want to confront. They're not going to confront him together. I don't think they might.
I mean, it looked good for when Uma and Io and Mimi did it. I can see them trying to do it too.
Right? They don't want to have them have the whole storyline. Rachel says this should be a sign to focus on her own mess and stay out of Black people.
Exactly.
Yes,
and Dan says Jess thought that she ate when she got that kiss from Playboy Ronnie.
Yes, she did, Dan.
She did.
Oh, she did say both? Okay. Okay, so let's see it for the episode. Favorite couple vote tonight. Where do you think the audience is going to go with these votes? So I guess Mimi and I are going to do well because if the Facebook moms are into them.
Yeah. So if Facebook moms are into them, then I think it'll balance out whatever the Black vote is because they're not happy.
But they still might give them support.
And then people like Joey, right? They'll probably vote for him.
Yeah. I do think that Uma and Omar are in trouble. I don't think that people really like that much personality wise. And Omar, I keep
It's not
seeing
very good.
he's not bringing anything. So in trouble. Patsy and Monveer in trouble. We really didn't see Kieran and Nicole. We really didn't see a lot of these other couples, but I think like Miss TJoy said, Joey and Sam might be okay for now. I don't think people think he likes Sam anyway, but oh yes, Sean. Who's Sean with? Harriet?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Harriet's messiness might pull them up.
Yes.
Yeah, Sean's in it for a while. He knew who to hitch his wagon
Up
to.
with who? Yeah.
Rachel says Mimi's doing well in the Reddit poll so far. Okay,
Yeah.
good to hear.
Mimi
Good to
is
hear.
the draw. Like if it was Io and Uma, I think they actually might be in trouble. Might have been in trouble. To be fair.
Hmm. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for this recap. Mika, what do you have going on that you want to share with the people?
Join me tonight live right after the premiere episode of Love Island USA. I will be chit-chatting the premiere. I just found out that Sally has headed to Fiji. She's going to be running their socials, being their social ambassador. I think Moira Higgins did it last season. And also did it for Love Island Games. So she has taken that spot because Moira Higgins will now be the host of Love Island After Sun, which is not really something I want to see, but it's much better than those other two. And so I'm excited to watch those socials pop up. I'm excited for this premiere episode. I do not know if it will live up to Love Island UK standards, but I'm here to watch it nonetheless. Guys, so join me on my YouTube channel tonight.
And Miss TJoy, do you have anything going on?
No, I have to hurry up and eat and all that stuff so I can get ready to watch it.
Amazing. Well, thank you both. We won't be going live tomorrow because I'm still helping out my friend at the restaurant. So we'll probably do tomorrow's recap on Thursday afternoon, and then Thursday's episode we'll do a double header on Friday. All right. So thanks everybody in the chat for being here. Dreadful Ruby says the cast has them excited. All right. I don't know if if they have the personality that these people have on UK, but I'm excited to see what they have for us. So we'll soon find out, and we'll talk to everybody very shortly.